Hey guys, it's just Mina. Welcome to Beyond Science 2. With all the junk that we put into our bodies, it's sometimes a good idea to detoxify and clean up our gut with some greens and produce to make sure that whatever toxins or unhealthy ingredients gets flushed out and cleaned up by fresh, wholesome food items. Back when we were kids, we were often told to eat our greens if we want to be strong and healthy. True enough, vegetables pack loads of vitamins, minerals, and even a good dose of protein that can sustain us throughout our busy day. Because of these positive benefits, you would think that there could be nothing wrong with eating greens and fresh produce, right? Unfortunately, despite the amount of good we get from them, there's also an equal amount of bad that may potentially be lethal to us humans. Vegetables are plants after all, and plants, like any other living organism, have their own set of special defenses to keep them safe, and we may be biting into a plant that's already released a deadly concoction of toxins because we were too preoccupied with our diets that we failed to pay attention to how we prepared them. In today's list, we are counting down to 10 harmless looking vegetables and produce that may potentially kill you if they are prepared poorly. So before you dig into that salad and take a huge gulp of that kale smoothie, you may want to see this. Starting off with number 10 is yucca or cassava. In many parts of the world, especially in large regions in Asia and the tropics, yucca or cassava is among the staple food on the dining table. Where people in places like North America enjoy carbohydrates in the form of potatoes, people in tropical parts of the world get their dose of carbs in yucca. This root is one of the most drought-resistant crops in the world, and they're also resistant to pests unlike the humble potato because of a chemical embedded in its genes, cyanide. The bitter variety of cassava has one of the most concentrated doses of cyanide that can kill a fully grown adult human if not prepared properly and carefully. That is why it is advised that before cooking or consuming yucca or cassava, they should be soaked for at least a few hours to get rid of the lethal toxin. Next up, we have nutmeg. One of the most popular spices in the world, nutmeg is used in practically any dish as an ingredient. From curry to mole, nutmeg helps lift and enhance the flavor of any dish it is used on. However, this spice is also known to contain myrcene, which is a psychoactive chemical that is known to cause dizziness, headaches, and hallucinations. Adding more to that, consuming too much may cause vomiting and sweating akin to extreme food poisoning. Though these effects may not be as lethal, the amount of discomfort that you can experience from it may be enough to put you off the seemingly humble resident of your spice rack. Next up, we have rhubarb. A popular ingredient in desserts and pastries, rhubarb stalks bears the resemblance of red-colored celery. While it may seem harmless as its stalk, rhubarb leaves keep a dark secret. Containing a chemical called oxalic acid, rhubarb leaves are extremely toxic and can cause convulsions, comas, and kidney problems. Consuming 4 to 5 pounds of rhubarb leaves can shut down your kidneys and cause death. That is why when these leafy vegetables are being prepared, the leaves are chopped off and thrown right into the dumpster. In the case of rhubarb, you will want the leaves to really go to waste because even in small amounts, these leaves can cause you a lot of pain that includes vomiting, breathing difficulties, and even seizures. Number 7 is tomatillos. Like something out of science fiction or a fantasy movie, tomatillos grow inside a thin paper-like layer of leaves that resemble a lantern. Once the tomatillo is ripe, these leaves dry up and fall off, revealing the popular fruit. Though whether or not the unripe fruit is harmful to humans is still being debated on, all its other parts, including the lantern, leaves, and stem, are extremely poisonous when consumed, which is why the fruit should always be thoroughly washed before serving. Number 6 is wild mushrooms. They're in your salads, stews, pasta dishes, and pizza. Mushrooms have become one of the most popular ingredients that people use in cooking for hundreds of years. From the common button mushroom to the more exotic shiitake, they have added unique flavor and color into our dishes. Despite all of this though, mushrooms are among the most toxic fungi on the planet, especially if you don't have a well-trained eye to spot which ones can be eaten and which ones can send you 6 feet under. Store-bought mushrooms are, and arguably, the safest ones you can eat. However, there is a growing popularity of foraging for wild mushrooms, and without proper understanding of these fungi, you may end up picking up the aptly named death camp mushroom that packs enough punch to kill a full-grown adult. Up next is lima beans. Containing a product called limarin, lima beans can be a deadly addiction to your summer salad that can make you terribly sick. A handful of these beans are known to induce vomiting and extreme abdominal discomfort, especially when eaten raw. To make sure that it is safe to eat, these beans need to be boiled and cooked for no less than 10 minutes. While it may have harmful toxins when it is raw, preparing and cooking them properly will release the minerals that are beneficial to the body. Number 4, red kidney beans. Unlike its cousin, the lima bean, red kidney beans are much more toxic if not prepared the proper way. These beans contain the toxin lectin, and while today's fad diets consist of eating raw ingredients, consuming uncooked red kidney beans will send you straight into the hospital. Lectin is a toxin that prevents stomach cells from repairing and and healing themselves. On a microscopic level, lectins actually destroy cells. Consuming a little as 5 raw beans can give you intense stomach discomfort and nausea. Having more than that can even lead to death. What's even scarier is that if the beans are boiled or cooked with other ingredients, the toxins have the potential to transfer and contaminate the other ingredients, which is why red kidney beans need to be prepared separately and boiled to at least 10 minutes to remove its deadly toxins. In other cases, the beans need to be soaked in the water for at least 5 hours to make sure that all the toxins have been washed out. Number 3, chia seeds. A good source of fiber and protein, as well as a good dose of omega-3. Chia seeds have steadily grown in popularity as a so-called superfood. Since chia seeds can easily be included in any diet, there are a lot of ways to consume them the right way and a lot of ways to consume them the wrong way. Chia seeds have an extraordinary way of absorbing 27 times their dry weight in water. This means that through hydration, these tiny seeds can expand into a jelly-like substance. Most people who consume chia seeds usually include them in juices and smoothies, as well as mixing them into porridge. However, in the rarest of cases, consuming dry chia seeds can cause them to get lodged into the throat and expand as it absorbs fluids like saliva, blocking the esophagus that may lead to choking. Before consuming chia seeds, it's really advisable to soak them into water for a few minutes and allow them to expand. Next up, we have kale. Providing similar health benefits as its cousins, broccoli and Brussels sprouts, kale is a vegetable that is also growing in popularity among health and fitness fanatics. In many parts of the United States alone, the vegetable is being enjoyed in salads or as a smoothie for people who are on the go. However, it has been recently discovered that consuming kale in a raw form, such as in vegetable smoothies, may have more negative effects than there are positive ones. Hypothyroidism, a condition where the thyroid is not able to produce enough hormones that can lead to slowed metabolism, joint pains, and even heart disease, is one of the downsides to ingesting raw kale. Aside from that, the human digestive system does have a difficult time breaking down raw kale, which may result in stomach discomfort, especially if eaten in excess. The solution to this is cooking kale. While some vitamins and minerals may be lost once kale is cooked, it is definitely one of the safest ways of introducing it into the body without having it cause damage. And finally, we have potatoes. It is one of the staples of American diet and in fact one of the most popular vegetables in every produce aisle around the world. It is one of the staples of the American diet and in fact one of the most popular vegetables in every produce aisle around the world. Boil them, mash them, steam them, fry them, potatoes are pretty versatile and can be included in any dish. However, potatoes do keep a sinister secret that can be lethal to humans. They begin to produce a toxin called solanine, which when consumed can cause severe digestive problems and even death. The toxin develops inside the vegetable as it matures or when exposed to sunlight over a period of time. That is why they are always kept in a cool, dark place. Despite that, however, kept over time, potatoes will eventually turn green and sprout, a signal for you to throw them out or plant them instead of cooking them in your next batch of stew. So there you go, guys. I actually didn't know about a lot of these, like the kidney beans or the yucca. I think this is gonna change the way I cook them from now on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!